Hey, it's Iris Smith here, and helping people change careers is my jam. Now, in this video, I want to talk about something that I know a lot of people contemplate when they're thinking about making a career change, and that is quitting your job without a plan, when you haven't figured it all out yet. Now, I know, it's not the ideal, right? To walk away without having a clear plan, making a huge leap into the unknown. You should ideally have something else lined up when you hand in your notice. Well, good news, not necessarily. In this video, I'll be sharing why and when it's perfectly okay to walk away from your job without a plan. Sounds good? Well, stick around and make sure you like this video if you're already into it, and subscribe to my channel if you are serious about making that career change, because every week I'll be posting new videos here with the best tips and strategies to help you make that career change happen. So first things first, for those of you who are new here or don't know me, I used to work in marketing in the corporate world. I didn't exactly hate what I was doing, but it just wasn't the right fit for me, and I desperately knew I wanted to leave, I wanted to do something else. So when I handed in my notice, I actually didn't have a clear plan on what was next for me. I had some ideas about what I could and wanted to do next, but to say it was a clear plan of action, not exactly so. Now, at the time, when I left my corporate career, most of my friends, most of my peers were all in the corporate world. So to say it was uncharted territory would be quite an understatement. And I remember how confused and alone and slightly nuts I felt for walking away and pursuing this path, because it was not a done thing to walk away without a plan B. But you know what? Life isn't always perfect, and it felt like the right thing for me at the time, so I did it anyhow. Now, since then, I've helped hundreds of corporate professionals make career changes. So what I'm about to share in this video is based on my own experience, as well as the experience of helping all those other people make those career changes. Are you ready for it? Here is why and when it's perfectly okay to walk away from your job without a plan B. You need headspace. So maybe you're on the brink of burnout. Maybe you're working 80+ hours a week. Maybe you feel like you simply can't muster up the energy to think about next career steps. Or maybe you feel that your head is just so full of stuff and you don't feel like you have the space to think clearly or figure things out. Now, look, sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is a reset, a break from it all, a break from the pressure, the demands, the stresses of your work, a break from the rat race, a break from the environment that you're in, a break from the world that you're working in. Because it is really, really hard to figure out what's next for you if most of your working hours are consumed by work, or if you have other commitments like a family to look after. It's also really, really hard to figure out what new direction to move in when most of the people around you, when you're surrounded by people who are doing exactly the same thing as you are. We become so conditioned by the people that we spend most time with, to the extent that it can really blinker us to what else is possible. So if all of your friends and all your co-workers are working in the corporate world and they're focusing on moving up that ladder, it can be really hard to imagine doing something else. But if you take a step back and remove yourself from that world that you've been working in for the past 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe even 25 years, then that can open your eyes to the countless other possibilities and opportunities that are out there. So if you do feel that you need headspace to think clearly and see things in a different way, then quitting your job without a plan B could be a really good thing. Which brings me to the following. You don't need to have it all figured out. So what that means is that when good-meaning, well-meaning friends and family ask you, so what is it that you're going to do next? You don't have to answer that question by saying, well, I'm going to become a teacher, a nutritionist, or an artificial intelligence engineer, or whatever you want to do. Instead, you can answer that question by saying something along the lines of, well, I'm still figuring out what type of role is right for me next, and I'm learning more about the world of education, nutrition, or artificial intelligence. So resist the urge to come up with a job title and instead focus on the area of work that you're interested in. Because I bet that there are more types of jobs available within the area of work than you're aware of right now. So it really, really pays to be curious and learn as much as you can about that area of work, about that industry, before you decide on a job title. That is why sometimes it's perfectly okay to quit your job without having anything else lined up. Now, another reason why it might be okay, or why it could be okay for you to leave your job without a clear plan or without having anything else lined up, because the time might never be right. Look, I don't think there's ever going to be an easy time to change careers. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I think it's always going to be pretty daunting and scary and confusing, and it might always be that something that you want to have done or have achieved before you make that big change happen. Maybe you want to get promoted first, or maybe you want to buy that flat or house first. Maybe you want to bring your savings up to a certain level before you hand in your notice. And whilst these are all legitimate concerns, it's also good to realize that the timing might never be right. There might always be that next thing that you want to do or achieve. So if you keep on waiting for the right time, you might keep on waiting forever. Sometimes you just have to do it, and do it now. Finally, you have to let go of people pleasing. Other people, including your friends and family, might not understand your decision to walk away from your job or your career, but this is your life and your career, and you have to live with the decisions you make or don't make. And you have to go to work and do your job every day. So if you have this nagging feeling that there is something else that you want to do, then don't ignore that just because of what other people might think or what they might say. Because people will always have opinions. Some people might approve of what you want to do, and they might even admire you for your courage to step out into the unknown. But other people won't understand, won't approve, and their lack of understanding and approval ultimately says more about their perspective on life than it says about you. So please don't take it personal, and surround yourself by people who do get it. Surround yourself by people who do understand you, or at least want to understand you. People who support your dreams and ambitions, even if that means that you do the less done thing of walking away from a job without a plan B. So if you are thinking about quitting your job without having anything else lined up, remember that sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is a reset. You don't need to have it all figured out. The timing might never feel right, and you don't need anyone's approval. Now, if you're still not sure if you should or shouldn't resign, then make sure you watch this video down here, in which I'm sharing 3 strategies to help you figure out if you should resign and hand in that notice. Now, before you go, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you never want to miss any of my upcoming videos to help you change careers and build a career that works for you. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.